We're gonna be talking about all of it. Regular season is done. We already gave you our NBA awards. We're gonna give you the all NBA teams. We'll touch on defense and rookie teams at a later episode. For Jarrett, you started off. Your all NBA first team picks.
Okay, so for me, the first team I got SGA, Tatum, Jokic. Y'all gotta like this one. LeBron, and I gotta give one to Donovan Mitchell. I gotta give it to the best player on the best team in the league. I at least gotta give him a shout out. Shout out to my second team as well.
Rush, you ready to run through your first team?
So I'm shocked. I'm trying to come back, but I can go through my first. So I've got Shea, Tatum, Giannis, Jokic, and Mitchell as well. I know reading a lot of the perspective articles, like some people have felt like Mitchell shouldn't be on there because his numbers haven't been as lights out as they were the first half of the year. But sort of like Jarrett said, I think that when you've got the best guy on a top 2 team in the league, and he's playing, you look at his stats overall, he's been playing lights out. I think you got to give him the nod, as opposed to some guys who are playing great but haven't been able to translate into team success and have further down in the standings. So yeah, I like Mitchell for my 5th spot.
I got the same team as Rush. No added, no taken away. I got nothing else to say on that one. I think the first team is pretty solid. Once we get into the second and third teams, that's where it gets a little spicy, and we're going to see the episodes. We're going to see the posts and the reels of who got snubbed, because this is where it gets real tricky. It's only 10 more spots left when there was a bunch of great basketball this entire season. Jarrett, your second all NBA team, all NBA second team.
Okay, so my second team, Kay Cunningham makes my second team. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. I gotta put Brunson in there. I gotta have 2 Knicks though. I gotta have Cat in there. Giannis and Ant-Man.
Or you put Giannis on the second. Hey, I'm not mad. I just want you to know if Tone clips this and puts it on the internet that you got Giannis on the second team, I don't know what's going to happen to the Corner 3 podcast, because they might run us off social media.
Listen, it was hard because I was thinking like, man, like Giannis belongs there, but it's like I have to give it to Donovan, because it's like, like I said, the best player on the best team, and it's like it's not a knock on Giannis. He's having a great year. He'll probably finish third in MVP, that's why like I'm, like kind of like rocking the hard place with it. But for me, it's like I got award winning.
I think where the pushback will come, not Donovan, they will have a conversation about that man Bron. I think people would switch Bron for Giannis, and I think that's where we might get some engagement, which I like. I know some people, are against, oh, you posted this for clicks. That's the point. This is what.
Right.
I'm not going to start on that. Rush, you're all NBA second team.
My second team, Steph, Ant, Cade, Bron, and Mobley. I think, I don't know if you want context, but I'll just say I couldn't put Steph on the first team because, the Warriors just haven't been. I mean, they're playing, and they've just been relatively. His stats have been, pretty good for what we expect from Steph, but I just don't think it's been quite first team caliber. And I think it's self-explanatory. Cade, I think you got a reward for the year he's had and what he's been able to do in Detroit. Bron at 40, doing everything he's done, even though the 25 points per game streak ended. And then, give some love to the young guy Mobley, who's been balling out, and I think is in, top contention for Defensive Player of the Year as well. So it's kind of how I arrived there.
Pick it up with that third team. You started off round table. Your NBA third team rush.
Yeah. So I had a third team. But I'm gonna make a 11th hour amendment. I'm gonna make a scratch and then a replacement. So I had Brunson, Halliburton, Cat, Sengun, and Jaren Jackson Jr. But upon further thought, I'm actually going to drop Jaren Jackson Jr. and I'm gonna put James Harden.
I was about to say, Harden is getting on one of these teams. I'm glad you said it first.
Yeah.
Harden,
And I want it was between Jaren, Triple J and Sengun. And it was tough. I just think Sengun would probably get the nod just because of, team success. I know these are more like individual awards and stats and things like that. But I do think team success should factor in a little bit, which is why with what Harden has done this year, I don't call it like a renaissance year for him, but he's been playing well, especially to close out the year. And then the game he had yesterday was almost vintage. So, yeah, James Harden rounds out my All NBA 13.
I got Cat, Hallie, Harden on my third team, and I got I'm giving love too. I think he had a great season. Zubac makes my third All NBA third team. That's for me. Jarrett, you're All NBA third team. Drum roll. Who you got?
Okay. So I agree with Harden. I got Harden on mine. So I got Sengun on my third team. I gotta give him love because I'm honestly shocked that the Rockets finished second in the West this year. I got Darius Garland on my third team. And based on the games that Donovan Mitchell's missed, Garland was balling out. I got Jaylen Brown on there as well. This is actually the hardest team for me because it was a lot to factor in because I had someone else on the list and I think they didn't meet the criteria for the amount of games. But my last person I have is Jalen Williams from the Thunder.
J-Dub.
J-Dub. The year he's put together, first time All-Star, second best. He finally established himself as the second best player on that Thunder team. I mean, we all thought it would be Chet, but Chet with the injuries. And even when he's come back, he's played good, but he didn't seem to make that leap that we thought he would. And J-Dub just been consistently, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, like kind of the do-it-all guy for OKC.
Do you think, because that's been the main question, we didn't talk about it with OKC, but do you think J-Dub shows up and is somebody that could be relied on outside of SGA for OKC?
I think he will make that leap this year. He had his struggles last year. First time in the playoffs, he's still very young. I feel like he's figured out his role on this team and he's added more to his game each year. And I feel like the system works in his favor for him being that second option, being able to be that secondary playmaker, knocking down that mid-range shot. His three ball is elite. His three ball been elite since he came in the league. And he doesn't have to guard the best player on the opposing team anymore. Like he doesn't have to guard like the bigs that he had to guard last year, which probably took a lot out of him. He was playing power forward last year, so taking that beating on that end that you have to come down and generate offense for your team. Feel like Hartenstein is really going to be good for him because he has to guard those bigs now. Chet is getting better at that. Got Caruso guarding the perimeter. Casey Wallace, all like OKC got a lot of plays to throw at you defensively. So J-Dub can kind of free roam now, and he can have more energy on